Hi, I'm Chris, and in this second part of our series on vectors, we're going to take a look at the difference between north of east and east of north when you talk about the angle that a vector is traveling. So if you haven't yet gotten introduced to vectors, make sure you watch part 1. But if you're already familiar with what a vector is in general, and maybe some of the terminology like head, tail, magnitude, direction, angle, then we'll start to take a look at how we actually differentiate between different kinds of vectors according to the angle. So, for this first vector, it says 30 degrees north of east. And what's important there is that we're going to start with north of east and talk about what that phrase means. So, east is going to be your original heading, and whatever's listed second will tell you sort of where you're originally going. And then the angle measure and the other direction will tell you how much you're veering off course of that original heading. So for this, if we were originally heading east, which is directly to the right, as we see here in this diagram that shows just north and east, for right now we're ignoring south and west, just working with north and east to help simplify things. So here in this diagram, if we're going 30 degrees north of east, then that means that if we were traveling directly to the right, we are going to veer off course. We're going to veer north by an angle of 30 degrees. So that means our vector would be in this direction, and this angle here would be a 30-degree angle. So when we talk about 30 degrees north of east, it means from a direct easterly heading, we are veering 30 degrees to the north. Now vice versa, if we switch the order of the wording, 30 degrees east of north means that the northerly direction, straight towards the top of your page, would be the original heading, and we are going to veer 30 degrees to the east of that northerly heading. So that means that our angle this time would be measured here, between our original heading of north and then our new heading, which is directed 30 degrees east of that direction. So that's an important distinction to make, because if you notice that for these north and east headings, this would be a 90-degree angle in here. So if this is 30, that means this would be 60. And vice versa over here, if this is 30, that means this would be 60. So you can tell that the phrasing of these two, 30 degrees east of north and 30 degrees north of east, actually represent two different vectors, and in terms of doing your vector calculations, once we get into vector addition and some of the more complex components of vectors, it's really important to make sure we have a basic understanding of what the difference in wording of north of east versus east of north might be. And the same works for south of west or north of west, east of south, etc. So just make sure that you recognize that it's actually the second direction that's listed that tells you your original heading, and then the degree measure tells you how far you're veering off of that original heading in the second, in the direction mentioned first of your two. For more, please feel free to watch the rest of our videos in our series on vectors. You can also visit our website, which has the link below in the description under the video. Thanks for watching.